Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
Well, I'm so glad you brought this up, because there was some talk about it, and I said, let's not.
Imagine walking onto the set of the biggest Avengers movie in years, expecting your Deadpool cameo to be a major Marvel moment, only to discover that, according to the claims surrounding the production, you are barely being treated like part of the main cast. That is the explosive story now, surrounding Ryan Reynolds and Robert Downey Jr., and if even part of these reports is accurate.
A rumor is growing fast that Robert Downey Jr. is having trouble on the set of his new Avengers film with Ryan Reynolds.
Jr. demanded reshoot. Behind the scenes issues with the actors are due to a clash of egos. Jeff Snyder claims that the production on Avengers Doomsday faced major setbacks involving Robert Downey Jr.
This has been a labor of love getting this made.
Yeah, it's been the best and worst relationship I've ever been in. 11 years I've been trying to get this movie made.
Marvel said we'll shoot your scene separately, or we'll figure it out in some other way.
Please tell me Mr. Ramos is not replacing me as Dr. Doom via Parker Robbins. Is there something you're not telling me? Anyway, I don't want to step on.
The real drama may not be happening on screen at all. The alleged tension goes back much further than Avengers. Doomsday, with old jokes, rejected ideas, competing egos, and two completely different approaches to power inside Hollywood colliding at exactly the wrong time. But before getting into the rumors about what supposedly happened on the Doomsday set, there is one strange history between these two stars that makes the whole situation far more interesting. Years ago, Joe Russo and ESPN fantasy football analyst Matthew Berry created the Superhero Fantasy Football Charity League, bringing together Marvel stars including Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Holland, Paul Rudd, and Karen Gillan for a lighthearted competition designed to raise money for charity. Most of the participants played along with the joke-filled atmosphere, but one exchange involving Downey and Reynolds became much more memorable. Downey reportedly recorded a serious-looking video message while Reynolds responded in his trademark comedic fashion by filming himself eating a cookie with Robert Downey Jr.'s face printed on it. The caption was simply, "Oh, snap," clearly referencing the famous Avengers Endgame moment when Tony Stark sacrifices himself by snapping the Infinity Stones into action. At the time, Reynolds was riding an enormous wave of success through Deadpool, while Downey had just completed his defining run as Iron Man. It was a joke, and there is no confirmed evidence that Downey secretly carried a grudge over it, but the moment has since been pulled back into the conversation because the two men eventually found themselves on opposite sides of the Marvel power structure. And that brings us to Avengers Doomsday. The biggest confirmed piece of the larger story is that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, not as Tony Stark, but as Victor Von Doom. That alone completely changes the hierarchy. Downey is no longer simply the actor who once played Iron Man. He is returning as one of the central figures in a massive new chapter of the franchise, with the Russo brothers also back in the director's chairs. Around that, however, have emerged claims that Ryan Reynolds has filmed a Deadpool appearance and that his involvement may be considerably smaller than fans expected. Some reports and online speculation have even suggested that Reynolds' character could be pushed toward the background rather than becoming a major part of the story. That distinction matters because Deadpool is no longer some obscure Marvel character. Ryan's version became one of the studio's biggest modern successes, and Deadpool and Wolverine proved just how commercially powerful that character can be. So, naturally, fans began wondering, if Deadpool is appearing in Doomsday, why wouldn't Marvel make the crossover a huge event? This is where the story becomes much more complicated. According to the source claims, Reynolds supposedly attempted to bring his usual improvisational energy into the production, pitching jokes and ideas that could make his appearance more memorable. The alleged response from the filmmakers was that the movie had a very specific direction, and there was little room for improvisation. That would actually make sense from a production standpoint, even without any personal conflict. Avengers movies involve enormous casts, complicated storylines, and carefully coordinated scenes. And a character known for constantly breaking the fourth wall can easily overwhelm a sequence if the filmmakers are not careful. But the rumors go further, claiming that Downey was distant toward Reynolds during filming and that the two supposedly did not have the friendly dynamic fans might expect. None of those alleged behind-the-scenes interactions have been publicly established as fact, so they should be treated as rumors rather than confirmed evidence of a feud. Still, the speculation has gained attention because there is another important piece of history. Reynolds reportedly wanted Downey to appear in Deadpool and Wolverine as Tony Stark, but Downey declined. Again, that does not automatically prove hostility. Actors reject cameos for countless reasons, and there is no reliable public evidence that the decision was some calculated attempt to undermine Reynolds. But if you place that refusal next to the current situation, the contrast is certainly dramatic. Reynolds once wanted Iron Man's presence to strengthen a Deadpool movie. Now Downey has returned to Marvel in a completely different role, while Reynolds' alleged involvement in Doomsday appears, at least according to these reports, to be much less central than some fans imagined. Then, there is the question of status. Robert Downey Jr.'s career has reached a completely different level since leaving the Iron Man role. His performance in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer earned him the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, giving him something that goes beyond box office power, industry recognition at the highest level. Reynolds, meanwhile, has become one of Hollywood's most successful comedy and franchise stars, with Deadpool turning him into a major commercial force. These are two enormous careers, but they represent different kinds of influence. Downey has the history of Iron Man, the Avengers legacy, an Oscar, and now a new MCU role that could shape the next era of Marvel. Reynolds has Deadpool, a massive personal brand, his production company Maximum Effort, and a reputation for creative control and improvisational comedy. Put those two personalities inside one production, and it is easy to understand why fans are fascinated by the possibility of a clash. But there is another reason Reynolds might have accepted a smaller role, even if the rumors about his cameo are accurate: being involved in Avengers. Doomsday could still be strategically valuable. Deadpool and Wolverine was a massive success, reportedly earning more than $636 million domestically, but the character's future inside the larger Avengers storyline is still something Marvel controls. A brief appearance in Doomsday could keep Deadpool connected to the larger MCU without requiring Marvel to make him one of the movie's central heroes. And for Reynolds, appearing in the film could potentially preserve that connection for whatever comes next. His production company, Maximum Efforts, also has a business interest in maintaining his momentum, with the source claiming that the company has a 3-year production deal running through December 2026. That does not prove desperation, but it does explain why maintaining a strong relationship with major studios can matter even for an actor as successful as Reynolds. Then there is Downey's extraordinary negotiating position. The source makes enormous claims about his compensation, including reports of potentially more than $100 million per movie. But those figures have not been independently established here, so they should be treated cautiously. What is clear is that Marvel considers Downey's return important enough to make him one of the centerpiece attractions of the new Avengers era. The Russo brothers are also returning, and the combination of Downey, the Russos, and the massive Avengers brand creates a very different power structure from the one that existed during the original Iron Man era. This is no longer Tony Stark fighting to prove himself. Downey is coming back after already becoming one of the most recognizable actors in the franchise's history. So if Deadpool is only a small piece of that puzzle, it may not actually be an insult. It could simply be the story Marvel wants to tell. That is why one of the biggest claims in the original narrative deserves skepticism. The idea that a call sheet supposedly placed Reynolds among background performers or minor day players. Call sheets can contain complex production information, and placement on one does not automatically determine an actor's importance to the final film. Likewise, claims that Deadpool will have zero impact on the story cannot be confirmed until audiences actually see the movie. The same goes for suggestions that, until then, the real story is not that one actor has definitively defeated the other. It is that Marvel has placed two enormous personalities inside the same movie, surrounded them with years of history and speculation, and given fans almost no concrete answers. Sometimes the silence creates more drama than the movie ever could.